Hi everyone, and again, this is Siemens, and we would like to remind that our webinar will be start at 2 p.m. sharp. And meanwhile, please invite your friend to join us. And the attached link in the chat box is the links if you haven't registered. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Simei, and I hope everyone can hear me clearly. Could you please type in the chat box, okay, if you can hear me? Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. We are truly overwhelmed by the number of the participants by us today. And my name is Un Simei, and fourth-year student from the Faculty of Science, majoring in Industrial Biology. And I will be your MC for today to kick off the program. Please allow me to welcome our program director, Mr. Hong Chun Kiet, to deliver his opening remarks.
Hi, very good afternoon to everyone who is attending for this webinar. My name is Hong Chun Kit, and I'm the fourth-year student from Faculty of Science, and it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all here for taking the time to join this webinar. Today, the title for our webinar is the role of biodegradation and bioremediation in environmental pollution and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic towards this issue. This webinar aims to increase the understanding and awareness of the bioremediation and biodegradation in the context of environmental pollution. As everyone is aware, our natural biodiversity and environment are in jeopardy as a result of anthropogenic activities that release new potential pollutants regularly. Bioremediation and biodegradation is seen as a potential solution where to degrade this kind of emerging contaminant problem, whereby we can use microbes which are extremely beneficial in the remediation of contaminated environment. Today, we'll be looking at how of this COVID-19 pandemic has affected the industry and raised awareness as well as knowledge regarding environmental pollution. We are pleased to invite three speakers to discuss about this main issue and share their knowledge and experience. Well, I don't want to take much of your time. I will leave some time for our moderator to introduce our speaker to all of you. Today will be fun and full of learning. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hong. And without further delays, I would like to invite our moderator, Teo Yijing, to take over today's sessions.
Hi, thank you to our MC and our director. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Teo Yijing, and I'm your moderator for today. First of all, I would like to thank all the speakers again for taking some time off your busy schedule for joining us today and for the generation of beneficial content for our participants. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speakers today, who are the experts in the topics of our webinar. So first of all, we have our adjunct Prof. Datin Dr. Zahara Ibrahim, who is a professor at the Faculty of Science, University Technology Malaysia. She graduated from Northern Illinois University, USA, with Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry and Master of Science in Chemistry and PhD in Science from University Technology Malaysia. Her main research interest and primary contribution is in the area of environmental biotechnology. During her tenure as a full-time lecturer, she has been actively involved in the fundamental and applied research of beneficial microbes for the treatment of organic and inorganic industrial contaminants. Selected microorganisms were used for the treatment of difficult organics such as synthetic dyes, volatile, non-volatile aromatic compounds, and toxic heavy materials from industrial effluents. For the past 3 years, as adjunct prof, time had been spent on sharing knowledge and research experience, collaborating with colleagues in continuing research from the molecular, enzymatic, and applications in different areas of study. Secondly, we have our Puan Nozila binti Osman with us here today. She is the penolong kanan core curriculum at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Tanjung Puteri Resort, which is located at Pasir Gudang, Johor. Puan Nozila has been teaching for more than 2 decades, and I believe she has shaped many future leaders throughout her career. Apart from that, she's also a registered counselor and a motivational and leadership speaker. And last but not least, we have Dr. Engineer Muhammad Abdul Khalik, Master in Science, who is the Director of Center for Environmental Technology, BPPT Indonesia, Deputy Chairman of Asia Pacific Biogas Alliance, APBA, which is one of the key platforms in the region for knowledge sharing and interaction among technologies, industrial experts, governments, and academia within the biogas industry. And he is also the chairman of Indonesia Biogas Association, engineer at the Agency for Assessment and Application of Technology. Well, I believe that all our participants are looking forward to gaining insights from our speakers. So before we invite the first speaker to present her speech, we would like to remind all participants to kindly mute yourself to show courtesy to our speakers. And we highly encourage you to have your video turned on, as we love to see your facial expressions as well. Apart from that, feel free to drop your questions by choosing a Q&A option in the Linktree link pasted in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's welcome our first speaker for today, Adjunct Prof. Datin Dr. Zahara, to present her speech. Please welcome.
Okay. Can you hear me? Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all. I'm about to start my talk. Thank you very much for inviting me. I've not had given any lectures for the last 3 years. So it's just a sharing of experience with my work, especially those related to with the community. Okay, all right. Maybe we have to show the slides. I've given Humaira the slides just now. Can you all hear me?
Very clear, Doctor.
Okay, all right. They will put up the slides. Okay, all right. I'm not quite good with all this. Okay. Anyway, we are going to share with you today our own experience with working with microbes, especially those related to the real wastewater and real environment. Okay. Okay, if I can go to the next slide. Okay, we are facing the worldwide pandemic of COVID-19, and it has been our greatest challenge so far. And Malaysia, the rest of the Southeast Asian countries and worldwide have implemented various forms of lockdown and movement restrictions. And then because of this, a lot of activities were not as usual. You have restriction on the movement, social movement, traveling bans, closure of international and interstate borders. I think you all have heard of all this. Schools and also institution of higher learning, and also restrictions of industrial activities, transportation since March 2020. Okay. The next slide, please. Okay. So when you talk about impact on the environment, it's actually a blessing in disguise. You all know what it means, right? Blessing in disguise. And then among the more positive effects, we can look into the air and the water around us. It is expected the air quality to be better. You have cleaner beaches, and then also reduction of noise level if you go everywhere outside of your house, okay? And also in terms of, there's also the negative aspects, which means that increase of waste and reduction of waste recycling activities. So with this, I think all of us has got to conform to what is being given to us. And I see it as this new form of norms or new norms is giving us fresh breath to the environment. And also implementation of MCO allows the natural river water rehabilitation, for example. I'm going to show you some slides. We show that this is taken before the MCO, Movement Control Order, and this is during the MCO. You can see the difference between the two situations. This look kind of dark, black water somewhat, yeah? And this is clearer. And without knowing the water quality parameters, the analysis, you can predict that it's a lot better. Okay. However, we have the restriction that during this MCO, I've been asking my colleagues who work on the water quality analysis, they were not even given the chance to do sampling. So restriction, you don't have enough of the analysis to say what's going on. You're just looking it from what you see visually, okay? All right, the next slide, please. These are all taken from internet resources. You can see the stark difference between before the MCO and this is after the MCO has been implemented. Without even having, there's no additional treatment or anything like that, but the rivers has transformed themselves into cleaner water bodies. Because you know that in the water, there's always the natural microorganisms. The plants are there, the aquatic plants are there, and they're all doing the work. But we are pushing them too far, with the pollution loading. That's why we have all this problem in the environment. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this is an example that is in October 2019. This place is not fit for bathing. And the same area was taken in April 2020. It's a lot clearer, right? You can see the vast difference. And if we can go to the next one. Okay, so basically what is important here to think about what goes into the river actually. So river has been a source of our drinking water as well. And then say for example, along Skudai River, that's closest to us, you can have a number of activities when this is magnified, meaning that you have more of the industrial areas. This is what it means. So those studying about the river quality, monitoring what happens to the river over the years, IPASA for example, they will know what industries are along the river. So you can have food industries or food court, sewage, agricultural activities can be in the form of palm oil mill, effluent. In Johor, we have lots of palm oil. And I must say that if you have seen the wastewater generated from the palm oil mill effluent is dark in color, almost black. So that, if not properly treated, will go into the smaller river, and that leads to the bigger river and eventually to the River Skudai, for example. So it doesn't mean that when you treat the river, you need to treat the river along the river where it flows, but you need to treat at point source, meaning that before it's been discharged into the river, there must be some form of a treatment system. And that is what is lacking in Malaysia in general. Okay. Kadang-kadang ada, but it's not effective anymore. So you can, this is just to allow you to visualize that there's more than just one type of industry. And there are ways, it can be also residential. It will go to the river eventually. Okay. All right. Next, please. Okay, this is one of the project, the community project I have been involved in since 2019. 2018, we started discussion, I think. And then it's under, the tall building at the roadside, Majlis MBIP. That is Majlis Bandaraya Iskandar Putri. Do you know that? No? So anyway, that's a tall building. And then if you go towards JB, you will come upon a place called Taman Jaya, Flat Taman Jaya. It's the oldest flat within Iskandar Putri, I think more than 50 years, and is about to fall through. Okay, and that is our first project related to the community, and what MBIP or Majlis Bandaran Iskandar Putri wants to upgrade the living standards of those living in the flat. Okay, so I did not bring in pictures, but I can share with you later on that it's nothing works anymore. You have the treatment sewage treatment plant yang lama-lama punya tu. It's not working. And then you have some sebelum the MCO and the COVID pandemic, you have people stalls selling food, and then their waste will go into the drain and into the outlet. At Taman Jaya is also, do you know what monsoon drains are? It's the big drains. Selalu kalau dekat pasar, you will see them. And then it will collectively take all the water that runs through, and then eventually it should be treated. Eventually it will go into Skudai River. So you can imagine you can have wastewater coming from the workshop, the food stall, the household wastewater as well. Okay, so there's so many types of wastewater going through, and they don't have a proper treatment. It's all natural. Okay, so it's really pushing the the microbes to work very hard. Okay, this is an example. If you can see, this is dark in color. Can you see that? Okay, this is the cleaner water body supposedly. So you can have this water is being generated from the standard treatment plant, and then what goes out is already black. It should be clear. Okay, so it's worrying when you see what's happening there, meaning that they need to upgrade the STP that is under IWK. Okay, so this is another issue. I think it has to be resolved first before you can look into cleaner rivers. Okay, the next, okay, this is another one. And then most of the outlet, because they are not properly maintained, some you have heavy silting, meaning that you have soil building up and the water cannot flow through well. And you know how things are with anaerobic microbes, especially the sulfur-reducing bacteria. It will cause that blackening. Okay, so it goes back to basic actually. Those who have some microbiology background will be terkejut tengok kan. So this is in reality what happens. Next, please. Okay. Okay, this is to show you, I don't know whether the rest, because I'm blocking the view, is it? Or you can see me well?
Yes.
This is the view of Skudai River. Don't be surprised. We went on a boat ride, I think in 2019. Masa mula-mula boat ride tu, air pasang. So we did not see all this. It was like, it's just water surrounding it. It's quite deep, Skudai River. We went to the upstream and also the downstream, and then I think it took us 2 hours or so for the trip. By the time we get back, so air dah surut. So you can see all this garbage being dumped into the river. And they spend money just to collect the garbage. I don't know, once in 2 weeks. Most of the info we got it from Cik Safwan. I must thank him for providing us a lot of info. They kata there's nothing much that they can do. You know, people keep throwing things in the river. So you need to maintain the river. This is how it looks like bila air surut. Okay. So dia ada tulis fakta situ. 70,000 kilogram of garbage every month. So you can imagine. All right, next slide, please. Okay, this is slide that one of my favorite slides to show the river that is being contaminated with color coming from textile industry. So the color of the river can turn red, blue, according to what has been processed earlier, and eventually these smaller river or streams will go to the bigger river and join the main river. So it has to be treated. If you see such a scene, you'll be very, very unhappy, and hope that people are more alert, especially the industries. They have to do something about their treatment. If it's not working, they have to make sure that it's being maintained and repaired. Okay, the next one, please. Okay, this is sharing. I think we missed the other picture of the pommy. It's black in color almost. That is what is emitted from the palm oil mill effluent. And just to share, they have 7 treatment ponds coming from the raw pommy. And the last one is the algae treatment pond. Maybe you have heard of it in your class or you have read about it. And they are not working. The treatment, the algae pond is not working. So it's supposed to have algae, microalgae in there to treat the water. So you can imagine how bad the water is. They might have to do something before the DOE people come to do inspection and things like that. Okay, kita pergi situ to take the samples and see whether the microbes can do the treatment of color removal and things like that. So looking at this, you can see that you can have the pollution sources may vary depending on the type of industries that's close by. So I think coming from the industries, especially textile, is the most polluted industry around. You have lots of dyes, foamers, mainly chemicals, and then heavy metals as well. But heavy metal, usually they are being transformed into something else and settle at the bottom of the pond. Okay, it's not really in the aqueous form. And coming from the petrochemical company, you have compounds derived from the petroleum sources. Even domestic wastewater, you can have detergent, excess nutrients, meaning that the sulfate content, the phosphate, and the nitrate content is high. Because we have standards that we need to comply if we were to say, okay, the water is safe for discharge, okay? And garbage, for example, they have the garbage trap. It has to be maintained, meaning that kalau air surut, contoh the water come in and then the garbage gets trapped, they have to do maintenance on the garbage trap. Sometimes that doesn't happen, or maybe most of the time that doesn't happen. Okay. All right, next slide, please. So that contribute to our water pollution. So if we have continuous discharge of the wastewater, untreated or not efficiently treated, this will increase the pollution loading. So that I hope you know what that means. And then it is impossible to rely on the self-cleansing capacity of the water bodies. So when you look into this, then there's a wide range of bioremediation technologies that can be used to improve the wastewater generated and also the waste. When you talk about waste, actually there's solid waste and liquid waste. I will be concentrating on liquid waste. However, I will bring in a few successful studies by our own colleagues on the solid waste bioremediation. Next slide, please. Okay, the other important thing is if you look at what has been analyzed for the water quality, it will be like the COD, the BOD, the ammonical nitrogen, the suspended solids. You can have the nutrients in terms of sulfate, nitrate, and phosphates. Again, what is in there actually is you need to do another type of analysis to see what's in the wastewater, what chemical pollutants are in the wastewater. So it depends on the sources of pollutant and our targeted contaminants. So it's very important to know the chemicals that's in the wastewater. Okay, so it can be in the form of organic or inorganic compounds, degradable or non-degradable, or it can be natural, like the color that you see from pomade. Those are natural color coming from the lignin based humic acid containing wastewater, and it's black in color. So it's a combination of so many compounds. And xenobiotics, like the textile wastewater, they use synthetic dyes. And these are man-made dyes, and it has a different way of, the structures are all different. So you have to have different microbes to actually degrade them. Okay, toxic heavy metals. Okay, these are some of the important emerging contaminants that is need to be addressed nowadays. So it can be in the form of the pharmaceuticals, pesticides, healthcare products, hormones, for example, estrogen. Okay, and I bring in colored wastewater, pomade, and the list can go on. So you can imagine tons of pollutants that goes into the our river eventually. Okay, so when you talk about bioremediation, in principle, there's two. So there's in situ and ex situ. And then for in situ, you're doing it at the site. I'm just generalizing things so that I can go faster. And ex situ, you have to relocate those waste and in a reactor or in some other land forming activities so that it can be remediated. Okay, all right, next slide please. Okay, and of course we expect our microbes to be like superheroes doing all the work for us. I think it's not fair. Okay, I think we have to make it conducive for them to work at least, so they can actually convert waste to biocompost, the solid waste, biofertilizers. It can actually be involved in degradation. It can be complete degradation or degradation into degradable compounds, renewable energy generation, biohydrogen, methane, renewable materials, bioplastics, nanocellulose, biopharmaceutical, to name a few. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, ex situ, I'm going to show you an example of composting, which is headed by Dr. Huzalina, a success story for our bioscience lecturer and her team. Can we go to the next one? I think you're familiar with land farming, biocomposting. So Dr. Huza has been involved in urban farming with some of the residential areas, and this is one of those that has been that she and her team and the community has been engaged in for the past, I think it started in 2020, Rosa. Okay, I think it's last year. So anyway, this is in Kangkapulai, and then they developed their own compost. Okay, it's always something, if you want to contribute to the community, it will be something that work for people out there. Okay, we cannot be too idealistic when doing research. Yes, everything is under our control, but when you go outside, you have to think of so many other possibilities. Okay, she has successfully completed this project, and some of the slides will show you the activities that Dr. Huza, Dr. Nuri, Dr. Alina, there's so many people, Dr. Madiha, Dr. Adiba, they're all involved. And then that is before the activity was carried out. And this is where, yes, you can go on to the next slide. They have taken some of the leaves and some other plant-based material, and they have to cut it into smaller pieces, and then that will act as a substrate for their composting activity. And for this compost, I think the starter culture, Dr. Huza has developed it with a team. Okay, so it's something that can be done with you are staying at the dorm, maybe it's quite different at home or within the community to actually produce plants that can generate income, and also you can consume them. Okay, these are some of the plants that has been successfully grown via the activity. And I think by word of mouth, Dr. Huza has become popular with many of the Majlis Perbandaran, and she has been even invited to Malacca to demo the compost that she's using, and also to use it, to apply it into real environment, especially the residential areas. So these are picture sharing of the activity of Dr. Huza and her team had at Kangkapulai. Okay. Solid waste. Okay. This is to show you another example of ex situ bioremediation, where if you have been to Sedana palm oil mill, this is a biogas plant. Is you can, if you are standing there, you are like so small, you cannot even see yourself. And this is 200 or so liter capacity. It's huge. It's huge. I was there. I took my master student before I retire, and then we went to see. It was 2 big plants there. They were producing biomethane coming from the sludge of the palm oil mill, and then they generate the gas, and the engineers will be involved in the design and things like that. I think they took this technology from Germany. If we have Malaysian technology, that would be the best. Any repair, maintenance, we can always get our own people to see it. You know, now with COVID and things like that, if something doesn't go right, then we are in trouble as well. Okay, so just to share you what's going on. Okay, to me, it's something like they can actually sustain electricity by using biomethane at that palm oil mill. All right. Okay, next. Biocompost, also do biocompost. And the other thing that I will share is our in situ bioremediation projects. And when you say in situ, that means you have to do it at the spot, at the location itself, all right? So it can involve bacteria, fungi, plants, enzymes, okay? And they can do the cleanup depending on whether they can survive in those wastewater. All right, next one. Okay, this is to show you, I'm sure you have seen pictures of bacteria, fungus, algae. Bacteria, some may be pigmented. Usually with electron microscope pictures, they are black and white. Just to this is microalgae, this fungi. So some of us have been working with fungi, Dr. Madiha, Dr. Huza, microalgae, Dr. Shaza, and the team, Dr. Fariza, myself, Dr. Shafinas, Dr. Halima, Dr. Firdaus. We are all working with bacteria mainly, okay? Many more, Dr. Chong, okay, and also Dr. Nurahim, Dr. Adiba. Okay, now what you expect to happen is this degradation or biodegradation, it can be facilitate or catalyzed by these microbes by having the enzymes to do so. But not everything is being converted to carbon dioxide and water. That is called mineralization. I think you have heard of that. Some can be converted into readily degradable metabolites, meaning that these metabolites can be used by the microbes and generate energy from there via their normal cycle prep, glycolysis and things like that. Electron transport chain. Okay, so anyway, this, and you can also have, depending on the conditions, you can also have some generation of your what do you call it, products that are bioplastics, biogas, bioelectricity. Okay, you can always renewable materials generated from the treatment process. You can also do that, but it's another area of study. It doesn't work like if it's treatment, then you can get something. No, you need to look at the process very carefully. Okay, all right. Next slide, please. Okay, this is just to share with you. This has been taken from the internet resources. And then EM, you have heard of EM? Effective microbes, they sell it. The Japanese, the Koreans, they're making lots of money from that. And then you have to, it's supposed to treat all kinds of wastewater. And being a microbiologist, we know that it's not that easy. You cannot have everything to work for everything, anything to work for everything, can. So even pH matters, temperature matters. So I think we can use our basic knowledge to think whether it's worth or not going for all this EM. Okay, they have. You may want to isolate and look at the individual microbes food grade. That will be interesting. Okay, you can eat them. All right. So this has been used in some of the treatment pond at Majlis Bandaran and things like that. They have a. I'm near to the Bandar Putra punya ni, what do you call that, yang tempat jogging and whatnot tu. So they have the ponds, and the ponds has been treated using EM. But you need mixing. You need to have a mechanical mixer to mix the water with the microbes. I'm not sure now whether it works or not. Okay. The last time the mixer was not working. There's no mixing. Bahaya tu kan? All right. Okay. Can we go to the next slide? So maintenance is always a problem. So these are our own research work involving microbes that we use to treat real textile wastewater. So some of them, they're not genetically engineered, but they are highly adaptable microorganisms. And looking at the wastewater, can we go to the next one? Okay.
Hi, Prof. Sorry to interrupt. Just a reminder, we might need to proceed to our Q&A session in 5 minutes time.
In 5 minutes time? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So anyway, I'll go faster. So this is what we have at the textile treatment, textile industry. We bring the reactor there. And this is one that the raw textile wastewater. And then I think I cannot show you the rest because macam mana, should be very clear. The water is clear and it complies with the standards for wastewater discharge. So there are the two types of process: anaerobic, facultative anaerobic, and aerobic process that needs oxygen to be supplied. So this is a 2,000 and 1,000 liter reactor designed by our UPM lecturers. Can we go on to the next one? I have to go faster. Okay, this is POME, also naturally treated using our microbes and composite. Next. Okay, these are just in principle what biofilm are, they are attached group onto um, some solids, or it can be anything that will allow them to form biofilm. Okay, solid materials. Next. Okay, so this is what we develop in our research that can be actually be applied in the real environment. We have developed this with Dr. Zaitun she's a chemist, and also we have tested it in the lab using real wastewater with the help of Prof. Azmi, Dr. Zuhaili, using they are from environmental engineering. So you have to work together in a team. Okay, so can we go to the next one? These are examples, and this is to show you. This is also in situ where you can put those rocks in the wastewater. This is highly porous, and you have the microbes. You can see from the SEM clearly develop onto the surfaces. Okay, next please. Okay, this is where you can actually apply macrocomposite to replace gabions, and it can do the treatment as well. We had a discussion with a private company, but it did not proceed because of the COVID and MCO. All right. Okay, this is our discussion with, this is Cik Safwan, this is Puan Faiza, they're from Think City, Cik Safwan MBIP, myself, Dr. Zaitun, and then Cik Kamaru is our hydrologist. We were trying to see how they can redesign the monsoon drain because they're not up to its working condition. And this is the engineer from the Think City. It's a non-profit organization that help to naikkan taraf hidup all these areas that need help. Okay, all right, go on. On hold. Okay, this is currently the latest development at the outlet of Skudai River near Taman Jaya Flat again. So if you can see, this is a prototype developed by Dr. Atif of, I think he's robotic, FKE. And then for real-time monitoring of the wastewater. And then this is a solar panel that can be used to generate energy so that you don't need electricity to be, you don't need wires to be connected there. Okay, so they're doing the taking of the water, I think twice a day. But again, the condition of the river is very bad. Okay, banyak sampah. All right, go on. So to conclude, what I would like to highlight is the impact of this pandemic, COVID-19, is actually has many positive environmental effects, as we have mentioned earlier. However, more analysis need to be carried out because there's restriction on the sampling activities. Okay, I think there's another slide to begin with. The way forward is not easy for us to have a clean river. Everybody has got to work hard at it. And this is a good opportunity for us to change for the better. We must try reducing load of our rivers, relocate those polluting sources as well, must be treated before discharge. And relevant authorities are very important, macam kita, Majlis Bandaran MBIP, Iskandar Putri, will take care of what's around the area. IWK is very important, and then the JPS can take care of the river. They have to work hand in hand. They cannot work in silo. That has been happening. Sorry to say about that. And then so that kita boleh and regulations should be enforced to those who does not comply. Macam garbage trap tak ada, grease trap tak ada. So everything goes into the drain, into the river, and you expect to treat the river. You will never be able to do that. Okay. And then the stakeholders, policymakers, communities has got to work together, hand in hand. Community pun depends. Some are quite resistant, but kita buat awareness day, and things like that, so that dia peka tentang what's going on. And then stakeholders will be the Majlis Bandaran. Kita sendiri can be part of the stakeholders. We can work with them. IWK, JPS, okay. It's going to be very challenging, but we can do it if all of us can work effectively. Okay, I think my last slide. Okay, to get something that ease your eyes, and you want to have something that this is back to nature. Okay, this is not what we are seeing at the Skudai River now. Thank you for your attention. All right. Sorry to go about. These are people I would like to thank, my family, Dr. Shafinas, our director, Dr. Adiba, Dr. Mariha, Dr. Zuhaili, and then Dr. Zaitun. So many people are involved there. My students who have graduated with PhD, Dr. Rama daripada Fabu, the landscaping, and everybody else who have contributed to the project. And I'm also thankful to Encik Safwan of MBIP, Dr. Ain, for those projects that we try to work with the students at UTM, and Dr. Ahmad Atif just came into the scene for this prototype for the wastewater treatment. Okay, with that I end my talk. Thank you for your attention. Okay, bye.
All right, thank you, Prof. Zahara. I really like the way you say that it's very unfair for microorganisms to do the work, and we are not actually doing anything to help to conserve the environment. Yes, and this pandemic actually really did help us to realize the damage that we have been causing to the environment all this while, and I think we should reflect on our actions. So without further ado, shall we proceed to Q&A session?
Oh, now? Okay, all right.
Yes. Okay, hold on.
Where do I read for the question?
From my screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
View?
Okay. I hope everyone can see my screen clearly.
Yes.
Okay.
See it. Okay, all right.
All right. Due to time constraint, we will be selecting only a few questions with the most likes, which means those questions which are the most popular. All right. So we first start with the first question. Is there any simple activities or prevention steps that we can do regarding bioremediation during FMCO period? Interesting question.
All right. Okay, what you can do is actually not to put all the waste into the same dustbin. I think we have that being segregation of plastics, papers, and then meaning that it has to start from home, or it has to start from where you are living now. So those are simple activities, and then you can also get connected to Dr. Huza if you're at home, and you can start your own farming activities. Help your mom and dad, and it's always refreshing to do something different. If you plant your own plants, you get that feel that, God, this is from me. I'm using the organic fertilizers, and this should be benefits as well when you take them. Okay, all right. Well, other things, I think the first and foremost is that, because most of the time kita campur je waste you have, and then even macam water kan, water kalau ikut orang environmental engineering, kalau wastewater, you cannot throw them into the drain unless you have a proper treatment system kat situ. It has to go into the sewerage, your toilet. Okay. All right.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Does the use of microbes in bioremediation could cause any harmful effects to the environment? For example, the production of toxic byproducts?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay. The use of, okay, all right. When we do microbes for bioremediation, we always test them. Okay. So, and there's no superbug. You have to work, you have to look at them as a group of microbes that will enhance each other's presence. So, meaning that, say for example, Dr. Huza kan, I tanya dia dulu sebelum I'm here, and then she did the testing whether they are pathogens or not, and then whatever is being produced can be used. We have to do all that testing even though we did not mention. Untuk saya and my team who works with textile wastewater, we test for pathogenicity, we test for ecotoxicity, we test the effluent yang treated to whether they comply ataupun tidak. So there's a lot of testing, which at the end of the day, it's not just seeing it. For us, is all the analysis you have to put in. And recently, I think I would like to highlight just a short one. Kalau ikut Taman Jaya punya flat, the E. coli dengan fecal coliform are okay. There's no very low in contaminants, microbial contaminants or pathogens. But when we do individual isolation and testing, we found many pathogen based microorganisms from the blood test. You can see you have to spread it on the plate, and also antibiotic resistance bacteria. So these are things I think it's high time to look into parameters that will be very important, not just E. coli and fecal coliform from days gone by. So it's just mine. We feel very strongly about it. Okay, so it's good to work with a medical doctor as well. Okay, another question.
All right, next question. Is microalgae an effective technique to remove contaminants in those polluted sites, such as rivers Budai that Prof. Zara mentioned in the slide?
Okay, all right. Okay, it depends. Usually, we found those microbes right in the wastewater. It's not the microbe yang kita ambil daripada luar, try to make it work. Most of the time, we got it from the sludge, from the wastewater itself, and then we do the testing, grow them together. Berapa microbe can work together? So it's not an easy job actually. So kalau kata microalgae can also be part of the team for the microbes. Okay. Dr. Farizal can be referred to as well because I think he does work on microalgae.
Okay. The next question, Prof. Zahra, do you have any experience to use the organic wastewater as a resource, such as for biomass production, etc.?
Organic wastewater, meaning that? To me, if you talk about POME, palm oil mill effluent is organic wastewater. And if you talk about tapioca wastewater, it's also organic wastewater. Okay, it comes from the activities that we have from your agricultural activities. And you can use it for biomass production, yes. But again, the choice of microbes, so you have to see whether, meaning that the fundamental work has got to be done first before you use the sludge terus untuk biomass production. There's always a selection, because one of my PhD students did biohydrogen production from the sludge. Itu pun dia heat treat to have the biohydrogen producers to survive. You see, those are the things that you don't get into the earlier fundamental. It doesn't just come out to serve you, no. Okay, you have to dig for them, get to know them better. All right, so you can have organic wastewater for biomass production, yes. But testing will always include whether ada pathogen ke, ada treated. You have to do ecotoxicity tests. You have to do effluent punya analysis to comply with the discharge. Okay, so that is very important.
All right. So we have a last question for Prof. Zara. Is it
Yeah.
costly and time-consuming if this procedure to be applied in real situation by all the industries in Malaysia?
Yeah. Thank you for asking. Okay, to be honest with you, most of our research are being done in the lab. We bring over the wastewater to the lab. These are real wastewater, the microbes works in the real wastewater, but to get them to be applied in the real environment is very tough because you need to scale up the production. And then I was talking to the Encik Zaitun, he's in charge of the wastewater dekat Ramatex, dekat Batu Pahat, dia kata, they're very pleased to see how our microbes work, tapi they're not interested in producing it for us. You have to find funding, you have to find how to provide them with the microbes in due time. They're willing to pay, tapi you need the facilities, the scale up facilities. Yang itu you have to work with the engineers. So meaning that my message here is you need to work together. The upstream, the downstream, got to work together. So that you can, for any troubleshooting, usually the upstream will look into it. And then for the design, because some of my project, I have Prof. Azmi, Muhammad Zahili, Dr. Muhammad Zahili to be the co-supervisors. Memang sangat senang because they take care of the system, make sure everything goes as required. So meaning that it's good to work together. Have a good team, right? Okay. Is that all?
Yes, is that all? Okay, thank you, Prof. Zara, for answering our questions. And thank you for all the questions asked by the participants. And we are sorry that we couldn't answer all questions. Okay.
Do I answer them personally? Macam mana? I can. Please get back to me. I will try to answer as much as possible. And then I can send them back to them. I can send back to them.
All right.
Okay.
Is it true?
Okay. Thanks a lot, Tio.
You're welcome, Doctor. Prof, may I know if they can ask you personally through email or?
Boleh. Zahara at UTM. Zahara, ZHARAH at UTM.my. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's a question. I'm glad to have questions. If I can be of help, definitely.
All right. So participants, please grab your chance, but please do not rush if you get replies late. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So once again, thank you, Prof, for the wonderful sharing. I believe all of us. Please stay with us, Prof, because we would like to present an e-certificate to you as a token of appreciation and to take photo of you together with the e-cert.
All right.
And
I can go invisible, right?
We will put you as spotlight so that we can take photo of you with the
all right. Okay.
e-cert.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Is AJK documentasi ready?
Oh, how do you take the photos? Okay. Just macam ni kan? Okay, all right.
Yes.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
You too.
All right. So we are moving forward to our next speaker, Puan Nozila, and I guarantee that all of us will be definitely intrigued by her experience as one of the victims that witnessed the incidents of Sungai Kim Kim in Malaysia. And what are the impacts of this incident caused by irresponsible human activities to the environment and human beings in the long run? So just to recall the incident, in 2019, more than 100 schools in Pasir Gudang district were shut following chemical pollutions in Sungai Kim Kim caused by leftover chemical waste. Dozens of students around the area were heavily affected after being exposed to the toxic fumes, and also more than 5,000 people seek medical treatment. So Puan Nozila, could you please give us some introduction about yourself or the incidents of Sungai Kim Kim? Hi, Puan Nozila.
Hi.
We can't hear you. Hello.
Yes. Hello, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh everybody. Okay, saya akan sampaikan perkongsian saya dalam bahasa Melayu if I may. Okay. Ahli-ahli panel yang dihormati, Profesor Datin Dr. Zahra Ibrahim, it was a good sharing. Dr. Senior Muhammad Abdul Khalik, if he's here. And to Hong Chong Ki, director of today's webinar. Miss Teo, the moderator, you are very beautiful. To all participants and to all the committee members for this wonderful and awesome action today. So thank you again, Miss Teo. Yeah. Okay, nama saya Cikgu Nozila binti Osman. I'm very honoured. Saya sangat berbangga untuk bersama-sama dengan anda pada hari ini. Saya hanyalah seorang guru biasa saja, tapi saya sangat senang sekali untuk berkongsi tentang pengalaman menghadapi bencana Kim-Kim. Kita panggil pada tahun 2019. Saya sudah mengajar selama hampir 22 tahun dan SMK Tanjung Puteri Resort merupakan sekolah saya yang kelima. Ya.
Alright, so Cikgu, adakah Cikgu ingin memberi sedikit pendedahan kepada para hadirin tentang insiden Sungai Kim-Kim?
Oh ya. Okay, saya akan share kat mana saya. Sorry.
It's okay.
Nampak tak saya punya screen?
Kami nampak yang Zoom website tu.
Itulah dia macam nyorok sikit. Okay, right. Sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
Ada presentation saya? Boleh nampak?
Yes.
Okay, perkongsian pengalaman Cikgu Nozila binti Osman, Aku, Dia dan Kim-Kim tajuk dia. Tajuk dia kena bombastik. Okay, ni sikit penerangan tentang diri saya. Saya telah terangkan tadi, saya juga merupakan pemegang ijazah sarjana muda, Bachelor Pendidikan Bimbingan dan Kaunseling. Dan sekarang saya tidak lagi bertugas sebagai kaunselor, saya hanyalah seorang guru dan bertindak sebagai PK co-curriculum di SMK Tanjung Puteri Resort. Okey, ini adalah pengenalan terhadap bencana Sungai Kim-Kim yang berlaku fasa 1 pada Mac 2011, to be exact 7 Mac 2019, dan ia mula menjadi popular lah. Dan seperti mana yang dimaklumkan oleh saudari Teo tadi, 111 sebuah sekolah ditutup gara-gara bencana ini. Dan kita lihat banyak impak sebenarnya, bukan sahaja impak negatif tapi juga impak positif. Saya lebih suka untuk bincangkan impak positif daripada bencana Sungai Kim-Kim ini. Okay, just to bring you, boleh pergi tak ni? Okay, saya tunjuk anda di mana kita sebenarnya, di mana sekolah saya. Alamak, laju ni dia pergi. Okay, ini sekolah saya, SMK Tanjung Puteri Resort.
Oh, Sungai Kim-Kim is that?
Yeah, no, this is not. Ini adik Sungai Kim-Kim.
Okay.
Sekejap Kajaman. Okey, inilah SMK Pasir Putih, sekolah yang pertama sekali mendapat kesan daripada Sungai Kim-Kim. Ini Sungai Kim-Kim. Okey, dan sekolah Pasir Putih berada di sini. SMK Pasir Putih yang pertama, sekolah yang pertama mendapat kesan daripada reaksi kimia itu ialah SK Taman Pasir Putih dan juga SMK Taman Pasir Putih. Mereka ni ia terletak bersebelahan, kedua-duanya terletak bersebelahan dan mereka berdepan dengan rencana ini pada 7 Mac pada hari Khamis. Okey. Alright. Okay. So, bagaimana ia bermula? Can I go on, Miss Teo?
Sure.
Saya kadang-kadang macam kesimak kalau cakap dengan seorang.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All of us are here.
Yeah. Alright, thank you.
Sorry to interrupt, Puan.
Yeah.
Perhaps participants, you may put reaction if you think is interesting. Okay, can you see the reactions down there? So
Ya.
that Puan Nozila will know that you all are with us today. Okay,
Kan. Saya tak
thank you,
nampak
thank
anda
you.
ramai-ramai. Jadi saya harap saya tidak bersendirian lah di sini ya.
No.
Okey, bagaimana ia bermula? Sebenarnya yang saya maklumkan tadi, ia bermula pada 7 Mac 2019, iaitu pada hari Khamis. Tiba-tiba berapa orang murid sekolah rendah SK Taman Pasir Putih pengsan, muntah-muntah. Ia ada bau chemical yang sangat kuat, kita dimaklumkan. Kerana sekolah ini sangat dekat dengan Sungai Kim Kim. Kalau lihat daripada tingkat 4 SK Taman Pasir Putih itu memang nampaklah Sungai Kim Kim di sebelah kiri sekolah. Okay. Dan di sekolah saya, SK Tanjung Sri Resort, kami letak kira 700 meter daripada Sungai Kim Kim. Ia berlaku pada 12 Mac, pada hari Selasa minggu seterusnya, iaitu berjarak 6 hari. Tapi dalam masa 6 hari itu, macam-macam berita dah tersebar kan, dan dia telah memberi banyak input dalam minda pelajar-pelajar, minda cikgu, minda masyarakat sekitar, WhatsApp, apa yang tengah berlaku sekarang ni. Kan ada kaya teruk dan sangat-sangat merisaukan lah sebenarnya kan. Dan ini kronologinya, murid-murid ni bila ada bau yang berbeza je mereka dah trigger. Pada fasa pertama yang membuatkan mereka trigger ialah bau. Di tingkat 4 bau angin. Kebetulan sebenarnya sekolah saya tetap berdekatan dengan logik bahan. Kan? Dan apa sahaja bau yang mereka hidu pada waktu itu memang trigger lah. Kan kita tak tahu. Tapi as a precaution, kita mengumpulkan murid-murid di Dewan dan kita pun memberi maklumkan Jabatan Alam Sekitar. Pada waktu itu memang dalam keadaan siap siaga. Sekolah-sekolah berhampiran dengan Sungai Kim Kim diminta untuk siap siaga. Jika ada sebarang bau, kita perlu maklumkan, dan mereka datang dengan sesegera mungkin. Dan murid-murid ni semakin ramai yang muntah-muntah. Kalau anda dapat recall semula, di berita kan gambar murid yang sesak nafas, kan mereka kejung macam yelah, bila tak boleh bernafas dengan sempurna, kita akan rasa dia cramp, badan kita akan cramp kan, kita tak boleh nak bernafas dengan sempurna. Dan ia sangat menyayat hatilah, dan murid-murid panik, cikgu-cikgu pun ada yang panik. Itu menambah kepada kekalutan suasana masa itulah pada fasa 1. Tapi suasana itu tak sepanik fasa 2 yang berlaku pada bulan 6. Dan pihak bomba meminta kami untuk evacuate the school segera, dan kita maklumkan juga, kita masukkan dalam grup WhatsApp ibu bapa, sila ambil anak tuan-tuan dan perempuan. Kalau anak dia tidak ada di sekolah, maksudnya anak-anak dia telah dihantar ke, maksud itu Dewan Terbuka Taman Pasir Putih, tempat untuk merawat murid-murid ini secara segera. Dan ada juga murid-murid yang dihantar terus ke HSI dan juga HSA apabila keadaan mereka di Dewan pada masa itu tidak dapat bantu. Dan saya berada di Dewan Pasir Putih itu sehingga pukul 2 sebenarnya, dan kemudian kita pergi, saya dan semua pentadbir pergi ke HSI. Pada waktu itu Dr. Mazli ingin mengadakan sidang khabar, dan kami kebetulan pada waktu itu hari Selasa, kami memakai baju PMJ. Jadi sesampai saja di hospital, sebab kita in rush kan lepas pada Zohor, sebab kami evacuate sekolah tu, memang saya pun keluar bawa handphone yang penting kan. Handbag semua saya tinggal. Dan cikgu pun tinggalkan semua, laptop semua tinggal. Memang kami lari tinggalkan sekolah tu seles pinggang macam tu. Saya lagi hebatlah tinggalkan turun handbag. Sebab dia takut sangat. Dia kata, yelah kita tak nampak. Chemical ni kita tak nampak. Macam COVID-19 ni kan. Semua chemical ni kita boleh bau dulu. COVID-19 kita tak boleh bau. Tapi bila bomba kata tinggalkan sekolah sekarang, you have to evacuate the school now. Saya pun handphone ada pada saya, kunci kereta dah. Itu je yang penting. Kan? Dan banyaklah masa tu cikgu-cikgu banyak yang tinggalkan laptop, makanan semua atas meja. Sebab tak boleh pun. Tak boleh usik pun lah makanan tu. Kantin pun terpaksa kemas. kan, sebab dibimbangi ada chemical reaction. Okey, dan dengan pakaian KMJ itulah kami ke HSI, dan di HSI kami tidak dibenarkan, saya dan takmil lah, tidak dibenarkan untuk melawat murid di ward sebab kami pada waktu tu nak cari pelajar. Ada pelajar kita tak tahu di mana. Kan ibu bapa kata tak ada di HSI. Saya kata lah kat mana, sebab saya yang catat di dewan waktu tu, saya catat. Si Polan bin si Polan ini dihantar ke HSI sebab kita tanya, ya doktor nak hantar kat mana kan? HSI cikgu, HSI, kita pun catat. Okey, Polan bin Polan HSI. Bila mak dia tanya, cikgu, HSI pun, parents pergi HSI, tak ada di HSI. Kat mana? Kan rupa-rupanya pada waktu itu HSI penuh. Mereka terpaksa ubah hala ambulans pergi ke HSA. Dan kami terpaksa hantar cikgu ke HSA. 2 orang cikgu di HSI, 2 orang cikgu di HSA untuk cari murid. Nampak tak masa tu macam nak cari murid kan? Dah lah ramai masa tu. Okay. Secara ad hoc bila berlaku pertukaran, kita pun tak salahkan siapa sebab memang tiba-tiba ramai macam tu. Kan? Dan apa yang berlaku ialah saya sangat kagum sebenarnya dengan frontliners. Kita sekarang di waktu pandemik COVID, kita dah berasa kagum dengan frontliners. Saya dah pada 2019 dah agak sangat kagum dah. Mereka tak tunjukkan muka penat, tak mengeluh, tak marah. Semua tak ada. Kalau saya mesti cakap, awak ni drama mengada awak ni. Kalau saya marah murid saya sebab saya kenal murid saya. Tapi doktor jururawat, Masya Allah sangat hebat. Cikgu bantu anak murid cikgu. Saya tengok dia. Dia doktor dia ni drama je doktor. Saya pula, saya lagi pandai pada doktor. Kan? Tapi doktor ni yang sabar. Kata budak-budak ni, biar betul ni awak ni, betul-betul dia chemical ni kan. Kita macam tak ada ilmu, betul tak? Jadi saya memang sangat kagum dengan frontliners, tak pernah kata marah. Awak tak ada. Tak pernah. Itulah kehebatan frontliners kita dan terbuktikan waktu pandemik ni mereka pun sangat-sangat hebat, subhanallah. Okey, kemudian pada 13 Mac keluar viral berita palsu mengatakan murid sekolah saya meninggal dunia. Saya mungkin juga anda semua dapat berita itu di Facebook. Saya sendiri menegur individu yang memviralkan berita tersebut. Sampai sekarang memang tidak ada ucapan maaf secara terbuka. Yelah, bila kita dah mula sebarkan berita palsu ni senang. Kan bila saya tegur, saya kata action will be taken. Kalau you tak delete, saya dan pihak sekolah korang beranilah. Kan? Akan buat report polis. Sebab benda ni tak benar terpampang nama sekolah dekat situ. Kan dia tak tanya, dia tak tulis anak siapa sekolah, tak ada. Jadi kita kata mana ada, tak ada. Ini semua pihak mula, ada pihak yang mula nak menanggut di air keruh ni, campur tangan politik. Orang ni kata macam ni, orang ni kata macam ni. Jadi kita ni yang mangsa ni rasa macam apa ni kan. Okay. Dan pada waktu hari itu juga pada pukul 10 malam sebenarnya surat siaran KPM penutupan sekolah dikeluarkan sehingga dimaklumkan. Tak tahu sampai bila tutup sekolah. Kan? Kemudian hari keesokannya 14 Mac keputusan SPM di Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Pasir Gudang, dan perkara ini pun dah berubah-ubah, mula-mula buat di Dewan, kemudian bertukar-tukar di mana nak dibuat keputusan ni, pemberian slip SPM, kesian. Tapi saya dan PKM bertugas di Dewan Terbuka Tambang Pasir Putih, kita bersiap-siaga di sana. Pengalaman saya pada waktu itu memang banyak ambulans masuk, ambulans dari segenap lapisan, kalau saya boleh kata Pasir Gudang, Johor Bahru, pelabuhan. Saya kata mereka ni sebenarnya ada banyak ambulans kan. Dan saya juga berkesempatan untuk berbual dengan seorang anggota tentera. Dia datang dari mana saya, tapi dua dari Johor lah. Mereka datang konvoi, naik truk beramai-ramai kan. Saya kata subhanallah, kan tuan datang sini je kita bantu. Kita ada banyak ini semua masalah negara, dia kata. Dan mereka menginap di camp dengan saya ingat lagi dia cakap bunyi kipas gek. Saya kata, subhanallah, saya kata macam nak mengalir mata saya kan. Macam ni lah pengorbanan wira-wira kita yang sekali mereka mendapat arahan, mereka turun tanpa mengenal siapa, di mana kan. Arahan you once you have, kena pergi. Kan tinggalkan anak, tinggalkan keluarga demi menyelamatkan pasti gudang pada waktu itu. Semua viral lah, save pasti gudang. Dan dan pada 16 Mac surat siaran kedua dikeluarkan oleh PPD untuk lanjutan penutupan sekolah sehinggalah sebenarnya ni termasuk sekali cuti sekolah pada waktu itu.
Okay. So cikgu, berapa lamakah jangka masa yang diambil untuk keadaan kembali pulih di mana pelajar dapat menjalani sesi pembelajaran seperti biasa?
Okay, thank you Miss Teo. Okay, jangan masa pulih dan dapat belajar biasa. Okay, bila sekolah mula ditutup ni, sekolah saya dan sekolah-sekolah lain di Padang Gudang, okay, bermula 13 Mac hingga 30 Mac 2019. Pada 30 Mac tu diadakan gotong royong perdana semua sekolah. Jadi ibu bapa, AJKPIBG, NGO datang. Alhamdulillah pada waktu itu banyak sangat sumbangan datang, terutama kepada sekolah yang terjejas Kim-Kim yang berhampiran dengan Sungai Kim-Kim ni. Kita dapat macam wah, banyak sangat bantuan kan. Waktu itu masuk dengan macam jual runtuh, kaya, tapi bukan sekolah lah yang kaya. Kadang-kadang murid yang kaya kan, murid yang kena terinfeksi ni. Dan kami bergotong royong satu hari dan sekolah dibuka semula pada 31 Mac 2019. Itu pada fasa pertama. Fasa kedua bulan Jun bercuti hanya 3 hari sahaja. Sebab kita memang dah siap siaga kan masa tu. Itulah. Pada waktu ini sekolah waktu ditutup ni memang kami dah laksanakan PDPR macam yang sekarang, PDPR maya, dan kita ada jadual waktu khas pada waktu itu. Dan macam Allah dah susun untuk kami, kita lah penduduk Pasir Gudang ni dah bersedia untuk pandemik sebenarnya. Kan? Masa tu dah beli mask, dah beli cuma kita pakai mask N95. Yes. Masa tu kita macam bila dah habis tu tak apalah, biar je lah mask ni kan. Rupa-rupanya bila pandemik 19 berlaku, korek semula. Mana mask yang luar itu boleh digunakan lagi. Kan macam tu.
Okay. So cikgu ada apa-apa nak tambah untuk situasi ni ke? Tentang jangka masa yang untuk kembali pulih.
Tapi betul ke dah pulih? Pada pendapat anda pulih ke?
Mesti saya rasa dia mungkin ada efek lain yang kita tak nampak. Dia mungkin ringan sampai tak menjadikan apa-apa kesan, tapi dia wujud.
Not 100% pulih lah rasanya.
Yes. Mungkin pulih dari pandangan mata kasar. Betul tak? Tapi dari segi psychological, emotional, sebenarnya ada efek di situ. Sebab itu sebab itu fasa kedua berlaku. Dan fasa kedua pada bulan 6 tu, if I may say, sebenarnya ini pada pandangan saya lah. Ini disclaimer lah kan. Sebenarnya tak ada pun chemical reaction yang berlaku. Dia bermula di sekolah rendah agama kan, di Taman Mawar. Dan apa sebenarnya yang berlaku? Mereka trigger tahu dan panik. Dan kemudian esoknya di sekolah saya, apa yang berlaku, murid ni bila dia dah macam tu kan, dia dah panik, dia okey, kita kata tak ada apa, tak ada bauran. So kita pun mula okey, we are okay. Pagi tu ada 5 orang murid yang rasa pening-pening. Mereka ni dan sebenarnya sekolah saya pada masa itu sedang daripada bulan 1, bulan 2, bulan 3 tu sibuk dengan histeria. Ya betul. Berhenti pada waktu Kim-Kim. Kemudian balik semula. Jadi bulan 6 ni murid-murid yang baru nak sihat daripada histeria ni, mereka lah yang sakit. Ada 5 orang. What happened was ambulance bomber datang buka siren. And that triggered selepas mendengar bunyi siren ambulans itu, ramai-ramai turun dengan sesak nafas. Tak ada bau. Saya kata, oh my god.
Oh.
Kan? Ya. Itu
So,
sebenarnya.
Maksudnya dia dia efek mental pelajar yang
It's traumatic. They are traumatic. They are panic. Okay, it's happening again. Mereka kata kan, oh no. Kan masa tu. Saya cakap, tak ada. Awak okey. Tak ada. Mereka tak boleh. Mereka tak boleh nak bernafas pun. Mula dah muntah-muntah. Kita bagi susu keluar. Kan? Macam-macam. Tak boleh cikgu. Sesak nafas. Dan itu berlaku. Itu yang trigger di sekolah saya, bunyi siren ambulans. Pada waktu itulah kalau tengok viral di Facebook, orang marah, kenapa ambulans lalu tak buka siren? Sebab tak ada ikut. That is orang-orang rakyat kebanyakan tak tahu kenapa ambulans ni dia tak buka siren. Sebab tak nak timbulkan panik. Sebab memang panik. Sebab tu bila macam tu dia bukan sahaja nak dengar bunyi siren, nampak ambulans pun panik. Nampak bomba panik. Okay?
Okay, alright. So kepada soalan seterusnya, bagaimanakah penduduk setempat menjalani kehidupan harian seperti biasa semasa insiden tersebut berlaku? Cikgu, untuk reminder kita tinggal dengan 5 minit, so we may need to speed up our pace.
Tak nak. Okay. Okay, bagaimana penduduk setempat menjalani kehidupan kita? Ini saya speed up ni. Okay. Ada 3 perkara yang saya nak lihat daripada pemerhatian saya. Bingung, takut, bimbang dan panik. Bingung ni sebab terlalu banyak maklumat, sama ada sahih ke tak sahih, selamat ke tak selamat. Kita berada di zon merah. Maksud tu saya sendiri, rumah saya di zon merah, sekolah di zon merah. Okey, ada orang cakap kena keluar daripada pasir gudang, ada pula cakap tak payah. Okey, nak keluar berapa lama? Kan, duduk menumpang di rumah saudara berapa lama? Masa tu dah dekat sebulan. Ada buat bulan 3, bila boleh masuk rumah? Ni nak kena basuh setiap inci rumah ke macam tu. Kan, sekali lagi panik, bau, macam-macam bau. Padahal selama ini bila kita duduk di kawasan industri pasir gudang, memang kita dah terbiasa dengan macam-macam bau industri pasir gudang. Macam Dr. Zara cakap tadi, kilang apa? Kilang sawit, kilang coklat, kilang besi, macam-macam bau. Tetapi bila tragedi kim-kim berlaku, apa saja bau pun macam trigger. Ini ke? Pencemaran kimia ke? Macam tu. Tiba-tiba semua, kat mana lagi? Nampak tong biru, tong biru yang sedia ada dah lama sebenarnya, dah dekat berapa tahun dekat tepi jalan tu. Tiba-tiba bila berlaku penyakit kim, tong biru, kimia macam tu. Kan? Itu menimbulkan suasana macam itulah yang dihadapi oleh terutama sekali penduduk pasir gudang masa tu.
Okey. Adakah terdapat apa-apa perubahan terhadap alam sekitar selain terhadap tumbuh-tumbuhan, hidupan akuatik dan sungai itu sendiri sehingga sekarang?
Okay, let me show you this one. Okay, ini adalah perubahan alam sekitar sebelum dan semasa. Ini keadaan sungai Kim-Kim semasa bila dibuang sisa toksik kan. Macam yang Dr. Zara share tadi juga. Sungai itu sangat kotor, berwarna hitam dan sebenarnya dah banyak aduan diajukan kepada MPPG pada waktu itu, Majlis Pemandaran Pasir Gudang. No action taken. Okay, sehinggalah berlakunya bencana Sungai Kim-Kim ni barulah buka mata semua pihak kan bahawa ada berlaku pembuangan sisa toksik secara haram ke dalam Sungai Kim-Kim, dan itu telah membuka banyak fail, bukan saja di Sungai Kim-Kim, banyak-banyak sungai lagi di Malaysia sebenarnya telah dijadikan tempat untuk membuang. Bila ditanya punca-puncanya, mungkin sebab mahal untuk menghantar sisa ini ke tempat pelukusan sepatutnya. Ini adalah keadaan semasa. Okey, dan ini adalah yang terkini. Ini adalah gambar pagi tadi diambil oleh bekas murid saya. Okey, oleh kerana dah berlaku pembersihan Sungai Kim-Kim sepanjang 12 km. Subhanallah, mereka telah bekerja selama berapa bulan dan hari ini sungai itu dah bersih lah. Mungkin juga kesan pada pandemik, kata Dr. Zahara tadi kan, dan dia cakap ada ikan haruan kan, pancing ada ikan haruan. Dulu memang tak ada sebab kotor kan, mungkin ada tapi tidak sebersih inilah. Kotor, memang kotor dulu. Dan sungai ini juga dia sebenarnya cetek. Tapi bila mereka bersihkan bahan kimia tu, mereka korek dan dia didalamkanlah menjadi dalam dan tidak berlaku lagi lah banjir. Kalau tidak dulu selalu banjir di kawasan ni.
Okay. So seperti sedia maklum, perkara tersebut dah berlaku selama 2 tahun kan?
Ya,
So adakah terdapat kesan jangka panjang daripada insiden tersebut yang mungkin masih dapat dirasai oleh penduduk setempat ataupun dari murid-murid dan cikgu di sekolah?
Okey, kesan jangka panjang ni saya kategorikan pada 3 lah. Kesannya pada penduduk macam yang dia tanya tadi, kepada pihak industri dan juga kepada jabatan-jabatan kerajaan ya. Penduduk ini semakin peka, lebih lagi dengan adanya COVID-19 ni kita lebih peka terhadap bahaya, bukan saja bahaya virus, bahaya kimia. Saya kalau kita penduduk di Pasir Gudang ni kan semua nak kena peka. Dan kita kena ada ilmu tentang kimia macam apa yang awak belajar sekarang ni kan. Dan kita diajar juga supaya tidak panik. Masalahnya ilmu tentang siasat ini tidak disebar luas. Mungkin belum sempat sebab kita terus dilanda pandemik 19 kan. Dan juga langkah-langkah pencegahan. Kita pernah ada fire drill. Macam mana nak siap sedia untuk kebakaran. Tapi kita tidak pernah diajar untuk bersiap sedia dengan pencemaran kimia. Where to go? Kita tidak ada bunkers bawah tanah nak selamatkan diri. Kita tak dibekalkan dengan mask N95. Ada tak di setiap rumah dibekalkan dengan N95? Tak ada. Kan? Jadi sekarang ni memang adalah mask untuk yang biasa tu kan, yang medical punya tu. Tapi kalau chemical, saya beritahu kepada suami saya, kita nak menyorok kat mana? Kita nak pergi mana? Kan? So dan sekarang ni pihak industri semakin giat lah sebab DOE atau berjabatan dalam sekitar mula kerap memeriksa bila saya tanya suami saya setahun 1 atau 2 kali mereka akan periksa senarai jadual pelupusan. Suami saya sendiri pengurus di sebuah kilang coklat, kilang minyak untuk penghasilan coklat dan sebagainya. Dan dia pun kata sekarang ni barulah semua pihak peka. Okey, rupanya kilang ni tak ada pun pegawai yang jaga affluence punya waste control, tak ada pun. Selama ni pergilah hantarlah kat mana-mana. Kan tak boleh lah macam tu, betul tak? So dengan adanya bencana kim-kim ni, pihak jabatan kita lebih peka lah. Kalau dulu mereka macam mungkin ada nak buka kilang, mungkin ada prosedur ni betul tapi tidak disemak, mungkin sebab pegawai tak mencukupi, wallahu a'lam bishawab kan. Okey, dan didokumentkan. Okay. Dan juga penyebaran maklumat pada waktu selepas bencana kim ni, semua wakil sekolah kita dipanggil oleh Lotte Titan, satu kilang chemical yang besar di Pasir Gudang ni. Masa itulah kita diberi penerangan tentang apa yang mereka jalankan di sekitar kawasan industri ni. Mereka menanam hilang pula words tu kan. Tak adakah ianya bahaya, apakah persiapan sebenarnya. Jadi kita rasa selamatlah. Selama ini kita tidak ada maklumat itu kerana tidak dikongsi. Dan juga Jabatan Alam Sekitar sendiri buat beberapa langkah lah. Contoh di sekolah saya, di hadapan sekolah saya ada 2 tiang ni. Kan? 2 tiang ni milik syarikat membeza. Satu daripada Jabatan Alam Sekitar, satu lagi syarikat, saya tak ingat. Dan ini memantau kualiti udara di sekitar kawasan sekolah saya. Okey, dan jika berlaku kalau ada bacaan yang tinggi, kita akan dimaklumkan lah. Tapi setakat ini memang tak ada. Kan, alhamdulillah. Dan kita pun tak minta lah. Sebenarnya insya-Allah sebenarnya selamat. Cuma pada waktu bencana kim-kim tu berlaku tangan-tangan bejana kan, dia buang di Sungai Kim-Kim. Itu saja. Dan kita dah nak habis kan? Okey, ini gambar saya. Sebab kata Dr. Zahra tadi, kalau kita ada komiti, lebih baik kita ada komiti. Tapi during MCO, we are walking alone. Saya memang tiap pagi saya walk 3 to 5 km every day. Saya punya mata sangat sakit bila tengok sampah dibuang mata-mata. I walk alone and I pergi kutip sampah alone. I love my Mother Earth. I love my persekitaran. Kan, inilah antara sampah-sampah yang saya kutip. Sebenarnya tak habis pun. Saya bawa 2 kampit plastik sampah ni. tak cukup. Saya jalan 5 km, 2.5 dah penuh dah 2 gampit. Maybe it will take me 3 days untuk bersihkan. Tengoklah sikap orang kita. Kan? Ini bukan kucing yang buang, ini bukan anjing yang buang. Ini manusia yang buang. Kan? Kalau bukan kita, siapa lagi? Betul tak? Kalau bukan anda, siapa? Kalau bukan sekarang, bila? Betul tak? Kalau kita nak tunggu orang Jabatan Alam Sekitar, dia pun kata, ini bukan tugas saya. Kalau kita nak tunggu kilang, ini bukan tugas saya. Jadi siapa sebenarnya yang kena buat kerja-kerja ni? Siapa yang kena jaga dunia kita ni? Bumi kita ni? Okay. Setakat itu saja dulu, Miss Teo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Puan. Actually, kita ada beberapa questions from our participants. Yeah, they're asking that ada apa-apa cara untuk pencegahan tentang itu isu Sungai Kim Kim selepas itu kejadian?
Okay, pencegahan kalau dari segi pencegahan tu, maksudnya daripada Jabatan Alam Sekitar memang dia dah letak itulah tiang-tiang, dan kita sendiri pun dibekalkan dengan mesin untuk bacaan kualiti udara. Contoh kalau macam ada bau yang mencurigakan, kita boleh test sendirilah. Setakat ini memang mesin itu akan memberi bacaan sifar. Mesin itu boleh detect beberapa gas yang berbahaya. Okey, setakat ini sebenarnya during bencana Kim Kim sendiri pun mesin itu memberi bacaan sifar, terutama daripada fasa kedua. Memang bacaannya bacaan sifar. Sebab tu saya sangat yakin, sebab saya orang psikologi. Memang kita yakin yang sebenarnya panik ni, kalau tengok ada kajian yang dijalankan oleh hospital Permai mengatakan bahawa memang 90% of the patient panic attack sebenarnya. Bayangkan masa tu berapa ramai yang terkesan, yang sama masuk ward, sampai masuk ICU kan. 90% panic attack. So langkah-langkah pencegahannya macam itu. Memang ada langkah pencegahannya daripada kita tengok bacaan. Tapi yang paling merisaukan saya lah kalau betul-betul berlaku, where to go? Kan? Apa yang kita perlu buat? Macam tu. Dan juga sharing lah, bagi saya ada sedikit perkongsian kalau daripada industri. Saya cakap industri, sebenarnya apa yang mereka produce, apa yang mereka buat supaya mengurangkan sedikit kerisauan penduduk setempat. Sebenarnya ini sebenarnya tak bahaya. Apa yang mereka keluarkan, macam contoh tadi Lotte Chemical kata mereka akan buat begini, apa yang mereka produce ini, apa yang mereka lepaskan asap ni ini, adakah ia membahaya, adakah ia boleh menjejaskan kesihatan. So apabila sharing ini berlaku, ia akan mengurangkan sedikit rasa kebimbangan penduduk setempat. Cuma apa yang saya kata tadi, mungkinlah pada masa akan datang, sebab tu penyusunan semula kita dah pindahkan sedikit industri kita ke Pengerang kan, supaya industri ini lebih tersusun. Macam tu, tak adalah macam kat sini rumah, kat sebelah situ, tak jauh dari situ kilang. Ia nampak macam tak tersusun.
Alright, thank you, Puan. Due to time constraint, maybe we'll just pilih satu question lagi.
Okay.
Ya, mereka yang tanya tentang memandangkan penceramahan selalu berlaku, dan ada sekolah yang mengajar itu pelajar-pelajar cara untuk jaga diri dan jaga untuk menjaga itu alam sekitar.
Okey, memang betul. Memang ada. Pendidikan menjaga alam sekitar ni memang ada. Dan sering berlaku. Setiap tahun memang kita pesan. Sering berlaku. Dan lebih lagi apabila selepas bencana Kim Kim, bukan saja pendidikan tentang penjagaan alam sekitar diterapkan dalam mata pelajaran, semualah mata pelajaran kan. Tetapi kita juga implement kekuatan psikologi. Kerana selepas ada bencana Kim Kim, yang dihantar ke sekolah adalah barisan kaunselor-kaunselor, rakan-rakan saya sendiri, dan juga doktor-doktor psikiatrik dari Hospital Permai. Kenapa mereka hantar doktor psikiatrik? Kenapa mereka tak hantar engineer alam sekitar? Kenapa mereka tak hantar somebody from Jabatan Kesihatan? Tak ada, mereka tak hantar. Mereka hantar psikiatrik. Oh my god, saya cakap, this is something. Bila saya nampak kawan-kawan saya datang, hey kawan lama, what are you doing here? Okay, kita nak bantu anak murid you. Dan mereka diajar anak murid macam contoh di sekolah saya lah, dia ajar untuk cara menangani panik, tiup belon, pernafasan, Kita kena proses dahulu maklumat, jangan terus trigger macam tu. Bukan saja dari segi pendidikan dalam kita, malah pendidikan emosi dan juga pendidikan jati diri dia juga diajar sebenarnya. Itu perlu kan, sebab kita panik. Bila kita panik, saya pernah tanya dengan seorang penceramah dari Jepun ni, kita import daripada Jepun, mereka adakan ceramah di Dewan Terbuka Taman Mawar pada waktu itu. So bila dia kata, saya cakap how to deal with panic kan, kita boleh deal dengan diri kita sendiri, tapi macam mana saya nak kontrol dengan anak murid saya 900 orang. So sebab tu dia kata it take times. So itulah yang perlu kita semua belajar, to be calm and cool dan percaya dengan apa yang kerajaan kata. It's not dangerous ni. Jangan kita pergi provoke pula. Ni mesti ada propaganda, ni mesti ada tipu hela gitu pula. Kan itu berlaku dan itu akan menimbulkan macam-macam isu sebenarnya. Thank you.
Alright, thank you Puan Nozila for sharing your experience with us. Sorry that I was having some internet connection just now.
Oh, it's
and I think very clearly that from what has been shared by Puan Nozila, we have to really be responsible in our actions.
Yes.
Because if it does not affect you directly, but it may affect people around you, maybe your family members, or in the food and water that you consume. So guys, please be responsible and also do not take frontliners for granted, and please stay home. All right, once again, thank you, Puan Nozila. So before that, we would like to present an e-certificate to Puan Nozila. So as a token of appreciation and to take a photo with Puan Nozila with the cert as well. So is a committee who are responsible ready with the photo taking?
I've taken the screenshot already. Thank you, Doctor.
All right, thank you, Puan Nozila. So
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Terima kasih sekali lagi. Good job, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so now we will need to proceed. We will proceed our webinar to the third speaker, who is all right. Today we are very honored to have our third speaker with us today, who will be giving speech from across the ocean, who is Dr. Engineer Muhammad Abdul Khalik, Master in Science, who is the Director of Center for Environmental Technology, BPPT Indonesia. So without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Muhammad Abdul Khalik to share his speech. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much for the invitation, also for the MC. Thank you. I have been joining since beginning. I had Professor Datin Dr. Zahra and Puan Nozila binti Uthman. Nice presentation. Thank you. I learned a lot from your presentation. My name is Muhammad Abdul Khalik. I am Director of Center for Environmental Technology at the Agency for the Assessment and Application of Technology. I would like to present development and application of bioprocess engineering for a green environment. Yes, a little bit. I'm not the first man from Indonesia present in this event. My senior here, Professor Dr. Anton Adibroto, has also presented about 1 year ago. Little bit introduction. I've studied in Germany from undergraduate to doctor PhD work. My diploma arbeit was about pretreatment plant of biowaste for biogas production, and my master thesis was also about biogas process for biowaste, but more in the development of fuzzy-based control of this process. And for the PhD, my topic was about simulation and sustainability evaluation for bioprocess development. At the Saarland University, master thesis was in Technical University of Hamburg, and the first one from Nuremberg. That was my diploma and master thesis work. And also I visited also Germany for 1 week training and 1 week tour, biogas tour in 2016. I'm now director of the Center for Environment Technology under the Agency for the Assessment of Technology. I'm under the Deputy of Technology for Natural Resource and Development. A little bit about the center. We have here the group of Technology for Environmental Pollution Control, waste treatment, wastewater treatment, also water treatment, online monitoring technology, and so on. We have also the group for conservation and remediation, technology, water quality management technology, coastal environmental monitoring technology, and so on. Life cycle analysis. And the third group is about the environmental governance, about the clean production concept and the implementation of the concept, also green city, climate change, and so on, green industry, and so on. We have a project in, that is the first project, I think, in Indonesia, pilot plan of incinerator, waste incinerator in Jakarta, with the capacity of 50 till 100 ton per day waste burn, and we produce electricity for this equipment self. And yes, now we are in the second years of the operation. Now till 11 May 2021, we have already 100 or 99 days operation. Yeah, the plan was paid on 2018 and so on. We have also here water treatment unit, ready to drink water unit, mobile and stationary. Mobile, we can send it to the disasters area to help the people serving clean and ready to drink water. And also stationary for office, for student dormitory, boarding school, and so on. And there is also two types of it, outdoor or indoor. We have also online monitoring for air quality and also mostly water quality, lake, river, and so on. We have so in many places in the implementation of this totally till last year, I think 28 positions. Besides the work at the BPPT, voluntary, I'm active in biogas community. I'm the vice chairman of the Asia Pacific Biogas Alliance. The chairman is here, the big one, Dato Kaharudin from Malaysia, and many people from Malaysia join this alliance. Also some from Thailand, Philippines, also China, and other countries. I'm now also chairman of the Indonesian Biogas Association. We are doing a lot of work to promote the biogas technology to be implement more and more in Indonesia, and also together with the Asia Pacific Alliance, we would like to have also some development in our region. I come to the presentation, environmental problem. We face many problems. We would like to move from the left side to the right side, so we can enjoy our life more healthy and more more happy. So there's also that is not natural disaster. Sometimes it is also environmental disasters because of our so-called climate change due to the many things, carbon emission and so on. We are facing also some problem with wastewater, industrial wastewater, and also domestic wastewater. The river becoming dirty, dark, and so on, as Dr. Zahara presented before. And we have also many organic wastewater and biomass. That is one side, that is environmental problem, but other side, it is also a resource for example, for biogas as energy resource and so on. About modified solid waste in Indonesia, there's so many. Yearly, we produce about 64 million tons of municipal solid waste per year. And daily, for example, in Jakarta itself, the city of Jakarta, we produce 7,500 tons per day. Every day, thousands of trucks transport the waste to the landfill. So there are another waste type and biomass we can make. These things can make a problem, but also there's also resource for other purpose, energy and compost and so on. Dependent from the there's another to show you the problem. We have so many artificial mountains, landfill of municipal solid waste so high and so on, because the limited area of such landfill. But another side, the waste is so the volume of waste produced waste is so high. We face also mass waste pollution, and I just put the picture from the internet. Composting of organic waste. I come to the biological process in our topic, biological process of bioengineering. The first one is the composting of organic waste. If we have organic waste, first, I would like to say that the key of the solution of the waste problems is the separation first. We cannot burn, for example, wet substrate easily. So, for example, the organic waste we can split it, we can treat as compost or biogas or other. So we can also produce other vermicomposting, PSF, and so on. There is some type of different several scale of composting. There is granular compost, so the people can handle it easily. Small scale composting plant, household scale composter, and I come to the mechanical biological treatment. We use the first step of composting, which is exotherm, produce heat. We use the heat to dry the waste stuff to increase the calorific value of the waste, so we can use the waste after that as fuel. So we call it refuse derived fuel. And the important thing is here the bio drying step. RDF processing, important in this RDF is the off-taker, co-firing in the cement industry, co-firing in coal power plant, and also feedstock of waste incinerator. And it could be also alternative food for some industry normally use coal as a fuel. Here's the step of RDF buying, unloading, sorting, shredding, and this is the bio process in this case, drying process with the I mentioned before with the heat of the fermentation, aerobic fermentation, like the first week of the composting process. And after screening, we can get the product and so on, and we can send to the cement industry and so on. Biogas technology for organic waste and wastewater. There is some pictures about our experience, development, and application of biogas technology by BPPT. First is the biogas plant with slaughterhouse wastewater, biogas plant with wastewater from bioethanol plant, biogas plant with organic waste. That is in near our office in near Jakarta, and this is in Lombok, east of Bali. And this is biogas from palm oil mill effluent. This is so big, almost of the kicker of football field. You can try to find me here in the picture. This is the covered lagoon type. This form is due to the biogas collected in this under the cover. And here is the coming out the pome, and in this case is just the tank reactor. And we can produce from biogas electricity, power generation, and also co-firing to save, to reduce the utilization of, for example, palm shell, and we can sell the shell to the for example, for the power plant, coal power plant. I explained before. That is in the future, I think important or relevant would be the co-degradation AFB and POME. AFB is the biomass, one of biomass type from palm oil mill, and this POME is palm oil mill effluent, liquid part of the waste. And normally we produce biogas from the POME, but theoretically and practically we can also produce biogas from AFB in form of co-degradation, and we can use the degassed for fertilizer. And important thing also, beside the production of electricity or power generation, we can also use biogas for co-firing, or we can upgrade the biogas to biomethane and compress it. We can get the bio GNG because it's comparable with GNG. The biogas, small-scale biogas plant from utilize the wastewater from tofu industry. That is about I visited last years, and it's already 10 years and still can be operated well. Yeah, that was a start of my yes. That was from student work. We a simple experiment, but that we were confident that we can produce biogas from solid waste, organic solid waste, and that is I mentioned before, a pilot project in Lombok. We produce biogas from traditional market waste, organic waste, and we use the degassed the effluent of the biogas reactor. as compost and other things. We use the biogas for cooking. Yes. Nice thing at the time. Many students, many children coming to see, to learn about the processing of the waste and production at the same time of renewable energy, and also the plantation, the cultivation of this. So I come to the wastewater treatment. So many reactor type from engineer view of point. There's so many. That is batch type. That is activated sludge. That is sequencing batch reactor, a fixed bed reactor, and so on. It is also activated sludge reactor type. And that is in our lab. In the implementation, we use the biofilter anaerobe for office wastewater, for industrial wastewater, and also for example, also from other source. This is activated sludge in industrial scale. This is in North Sumatra. And I come to bioremediation. First, the land farming technique. They call it land farming because we do as the farmer done with their land. In case of to give a good condition for the microbes to have enough oxygen and so on. Yes, there was drilling mud, land farming of drilling mud in lab scale, and it is in bench scale. The same thing. So we have to make with some bulking agent with others. This is the mud, clean soil, compost as bulking agent, and we put here also microbes. We prepare the microbes. So the oil degrading microbes. So we measure also some parameter, CO2, O2, temperature, pH, and so on. We do mix before to get a good mix of this matrix. We give also some nutrients with normal fertilizer. So we hope that microbes can grow well or better than without the nutrients. That is another type of bioremediation biopile technique. We can pile we do in the soil in pile. We prepare the microbes, also the nutrients, fertilizer, and we put together and so on. That is in the lab scale. Also still the lab scale, we also optimize how much the aeration of this. In the biopile, we need aeration because we pile it 1 or 2 meters. In the land farming, we need just the maximal is 30 centimeter. So the aeration can still is still good to get enough oxygen for the microbe. Here in the lab scale, and this is in industrial scale, full scale, we prepare the microbes and put layer by layer the soil mixed with nutrient and so on. And this is about 2 meters or more, but we have to do this piping to give enough oxygen to the microbes. Flushing in biotreatment, the contamination in underground, and we can do that is in the lab scale before go to the field. We flush it, we wash the contamination in the soil and get the water contaminated by the oil, and we can treat the water contaminated by oil like the wastewater or same with wastewater treatment procedure. Here is in the field experiment. Here we inject the water and pump again back to get the water with oil, and the oil is treated in as per treatment like wastewater treatment plant. We pump again and again and so on, and so we hope that clean up is happen in this context. We do also research in biosurfactant producing bacteria. Here important is surfactant, so that the oil can disperse in the water, so the clean up can be faster, hopefully. A bioprocess in oil spill treatment, there are many procedure or many techniques to respond the oil spill, oil skimmer, oil absorbent, also bioremediation, biodispersion, and so on. And we do also a lot of research work here in lab scale, also in this also lab scale. Still lab scale, we see here the relevant role of the microbes here. 4 and 1 is without microbes. Here with microbe, and the second day is already dispersed. So we hope that the clean up or the biodegradation can be done faster with this aspect, with this effect. So we do also another experiment, a little bit direct to this, and we go to the field with artificial oil spill in cooperation with PT Pertamina. We do this experiment. Phytoremediation, we use the plantation to do this clean up procedure. And this is from my colleague, my senior Budi Priyanto and Tuti Suryati, and there's so many plantation plants can be used, grass and others type of plantation. That's with there is a synergies of the roots and also microbes there and so on. So have the biodegradation can be more effectively and so on. There is before and after. You can see here the soil before and after, and also the growth of the grass. You can see.
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
That our slide currently stop at land farming of drilling mud.
Drilling mud.
Yes, the one with 5 pictures.
Here you can see the.
We couldn't proceed to the current slide where you mentioned before and after.
Okay, I stop and I come again back.
Yeah, sure.
So. Can you see this? Now?
Yes, land farming or drilling mud.
Okay, yeah, the drilling mud already I explained you, and now this is that was here is land farming technique. Now we come to the biopile technique.
Correct.
Yes, we can pilot in about 2 meters. In land farming, we can just have a depth of 30 centimeter without active aeration, but here you have to put the aeration, active aeration with piping and blower and so on. Flushing and biotreatment, I explained before, we inject this and pump again back, and we treat it with biological treatment and pump again and again and so on. So we hope that we get the clean up procedure. This is biosurfactant producing bacteria, and oil spill I explained before. Oil skimmer, oil adsorbent, bioremediation, biodiesel, and so on. That's our small scale, lab scale experiment, and this is the test field in Cilacap in Central Java. A phytoremediation, several plantation we have tested, and yes, before and after the soil. And also here the grass. We use also vetiver in other project start and this after 2 months and after harvesting with this effect in synergies between the root system and also the microbes that are living there. Constructed wetland, aquaponic, and utilization of treated waste or wastewater. Here, the utilization of constructed wetland test plan in our lab, and also there's implementation for the textile industry in Kalongan. Aquaponic, we synergize the aquaculture, fish cultivation, fish pond here, and we after here is small wastewater treatment plant, biological treatment plant, simple with fixed bed method. The contaminant from the fish pond is treated and then used by the roof of the plantation as fertilizer. So the plantation is like the filter for the fish pond. So we can get after that the water in much cleaner quality. So I've presented before the floating aquaponic. We would like also you try do experiment and utilization of nutrient compound from treated wastewater. Microalgae for carbon capture. One, we have two types, photobioreactor, and also this also still photobioreactor. We would like to extract the oil from the microalgae, and in the future we would like to have use the microalgae for biofuel production. Another type of reactor is open pond for microalgae cultivation. The first was to do CO2 emission reduction and several type of microalgae strains and we can use the microalgae for several purposes. Depend on the quality, we can use also for food or feed or other purpose. Here's the growth of microalgae day by day, and this is the harvesting, simple harvesting unit for experiment and the drying of microalgae biomass. So thank you very much for your time. Maybe we can do discussion. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Abdul Khalik, for the insightful sharing about organic waste and wastewater treatment. And we are really lucky to be exposed to all the pictures on the setup and even the processes. And also, it's absolutely impressive that even microorganisms can actually do great work. And as a human being, I think I need to reflect on my own capability after listening to the talks, to the sharing by Doctor. Okay, joke aside, let's proceed to Q&A sessions to answer questions from our curious participants. But before that, I would like to remind all participants to kindly fill in the lucky draw form that can be found in the Linktree link, so that you will be eligible to lucky draw that will be conducted after this session. And the link will be closed in 5 minutes. All right, so now we have first question from as we have limited time, so I will just be selecting 3 questions. Will that be fine? Okay, so first question. Can you guys see my slide? Doctor, may I know if you can see the questions on my screen?
No.
No,
No,
I think something's
Not yet.
what about now?
No.
No.
Yes, yes, yes.
You can see us.
Okay. So first question. Hi, Dr. Khalik. What are any differences in bioprocess engineering application between Indonesia and Malaysia in general?
Yes, I don't know really, but the principle is the same, I think. The principle technique is the same, but I know a little bit in biogas technology that in Malaysia there is also obligatory to process the palm oil effluent, and the best method I think is the biogas implementation of biogas technology, because you do not need the aeration. Aeration means power, means cost, and in the biogas process you get the good thing, this biogas as renewable energy. In Indonesia, there's also, I think, actually obligatory to treat the wastewater, but not all palm oil mill have the biogas plant. So that's why we are the association are there to promote the implementation of biogas. Okay.
All right, great. I hope that answers. All right. Next, currently, what is the most effective method for treating waste such as mass waste in Indonesia, especially during this pandemic?
Yeah, there are several methods. You can put it in infrared. That's, I think, the safest one, because it is burnt and treated in high temperature, so we do not have any worry in what it is in contamination and so on, or spread the virus and so on. Second option is you do the decontamination in autoclave, in like you cook it in high temperature in autoclave, and we hope that the virus is destroyed due to the high temperature, high pressure, and so on. So the mass after that we can treat it as normal waste without any danger from the virus.
Nice. Okay. Next question, which is also our last question. Sorry that we cannot answer all because we have limited time. Okay. Currently, is there any impact or challenges of biogas technology implementation?
Yeah, the challenge is to connect the biogas produced in this plant to the user, to the off-taker. Normally, the palm oil mill is located in rural and remote area, far away from the community. So in Indonesia, we have to put the net electricity net. That's the one thing. Another thing is the price. We would like to have electricity in lower price so that the people can have can use this electricity. But not so if the price of the electricity is so low, that's not good for the developer of the biogas plant. So we have to have a good balance of it. So we are trying to find other solutions. So we try to give alternative, for example, co-firing I mentioned before, and also bio-CNG. Bio-CNG you can use as fuel for the truck, normal vehicle in the plantation company, and also we can use it for other purpose.
All right. Thank you, Doctor, for answering our questions. Okay. So now we would like to present an e-certificate to the Doctor as an appreciation for being with us today. And the cert is ready. So is AJK documentasi ready? We will be taking a photo of Doctor with the cert.
Can you put on a smile? 1,
Doctor,
2, 3.
give your best pose.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Doctor. Once again,
you.
thank you very much
Thank
for being
you.
with us. Take care and stay safe. All right. So now the long-awaited moment is about to arrive, as we would like to show our appreciation to those participants, all participants who are staying with us till the end. As we are proceeding our webinar with lucky draw, Kahoot, and fun quizzes where you can win away cash prizes from us. And just an introduction, we will be having lucky draw to select 6 lucky winners that could win away 10 ringgit from us. And for Kahoot session, we highly encourage participants to join the Kahoot from their PC browsers as not to experience any delay. And also for the fun quiz, participants viewing from Facebook Live, they might be having some delay. So we are sorry that only those participants in Zoom, they have this benefit of getting the response faster lah, because it is based on speed. Okay, so without further ado, I shall now pass the control of the mic to Miss Ila. So over to you, Ila.
Hello guys. Now is the time for our webinar game session. There are 2 game sessions and lucky draw for this session. The first one is Kahoot. Okay, so let's go. Okay. This is the code for the game session. This is the code for Kahoot game. You can click the link for Kahoot game in the link tree at the chat box and enter this code. After you have entered your nickname, don't forget to screenshot it, yeah? Because if you win this game, Later, if you want to claim the cash prize, you need to give this screenshot as proof that it is you who win the game. Don't forget to screenshot, yeah? Okay, now we wait for the participants to enter the game. Shall we start? Okay, I will wait for the participants. Please join. The question is so easy. The first winner will get 40 ringgit, and the second winner will get 30 ringgit, and the third winner will get 20 ringgit. Boleh cikgu nak join boleh. Everyone who wants to enter, click the link free at the chat box and then press Kahoot and enter this code on the screen. Is everyone enter already? Oh, still coming. Yeah, let's go. Is everyone already? Okay, still coming. Okay, we will start our game in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Bioremediation. Okay, the first one. Below are the names of invited speakers on today's webinar session, except answer. Who didn't focus, don't know.
Dr. Nabila, maybe?
I think Dr. Nabila is the correct answer. Is it? Okay. Oh, not so people focus ni. Okay, so next questions. Oh, Setang 2 is leading.
Okay, the next
Please.
question. Define bioremediation.
Oh, okay, most of you got it correct. Okay, next. Ooh, WB is leading. Okay. The bioremediation process involving the usage of plants to degrade pollutant is, which one you think is correct? Composting, biopile, phytoremediations, or land farming? Oh. Okay. You guys know it. Okay, next.
Biodegradation is the process where organic substances are decomposed by microbe into simpler substances. What is it? True or false?
Oh, everyone got it correct. Genius,
Very
genius.
nice answer.
Good job, WB. Still leading. Bacteria can be used to clean up. What? Is it pesticide, gasoline, oil, or all above? Okay, okay, great job. Okay, WB still leading.
Next question. What is the cause behind irrecoverable environmental damage?
The key is irrecoverable environmental damage. Okay. Oh, CH is leading now. Oxides of nitrogen and sulfur leads to major air pollution. Is this statement is true or is it false? You make the decision. Yeah, the answer is true. Oxide and sulfur could lead to pollution. Okay, next.
Next question is, oil spill have been considered as a major threat toward environment, especially in, what is the answer? Land ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, marine ecosystem, or vertebrates?
Yes, okay. Now he's leading. Oh, still CH, good job. The process by which the methanogens produce methane is called? This is easy lah. You see methanogen, you see methane.
Ila, don't make it obvious, yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler.
Yeah, everyone
Okay.
got it correct. Almost.
Not really lah, almost everyone. Okay. Okay, CH still leading. Okay.
Following are the positive impacts of COVID-19 towards the environment, except Yeah, this one also very easy one.
Okay. Good job, CH. You're still leading. Which contaminants among the following leads to environmental pollutions? Okay, is it heavy metals and explosive, carbon dioxide, methane gas, or fertilizer? Ooh, not everyone is correct, but okay, great job, great attempt. So yeah, he's still leading. Okay, next.
Which of the following leads to release of environmental nuisance? It is nitrogen, volatile compound, hydrogen, or oxygen. General knowledge, yeah, this one.
Okay, next. See, he's still secure his place. Which Johor area Sungai Kim Kim is located? This got in Cikgu's slide. Cikgu also has mentioned it. Okay, not everyone is correct, but okay. Next. Okay.
Next question. What is the cause of toxic pollution at Sungai Kim Kim in 2019?
Yes, almost everyone is correct. Okay. The last question for this session. Which of these followings are the water pollution sources? Click on the answer that you think is correct. Good job, everyone. Okay, so I announce the winner. The third place is WQ. The second place is Ada. And the first place is Hey! Congratulations to all the winners. Don't forget to screenshot your nickname, yeah, before you claim, because you need to give the proof, okay? Congratulations to all the winners. Okay, so so now we move to our second game, which is fun quiz, where the winners will bring home cash prize of 50 ringgit. In these games, I will show the quiz questions on the screen, and then if you want to answer the question, please open your mic and give your answer. This game is limited to the person in Zoom only. Okay, so do you guys understand? If you guys understand, please say okay at the chat box. Okay. So the first questions of our fun quiz is, what are the 3 alternative treatments for organic waste? Does anyone want to answer? Please open your mic. Hello. 50 ringgit is waiting. Okay, if cannot,
Phytoremediation,
hmm,
biocomposting, aerobic degradation,
creation way, what's thing biodegradation? Wait.
aerobic digestion, sorry.
Okay, wait.
I'm sorry, Karen, could you repeat your answer again?
Biocomposting, phytoremediation, aerobic digestion.
Yes, your answer is correct. So congratulations, Clarine. You just bring home 50 ringgit. Okay. So we move to the second questions. Okay. What is the long-term effect after the toxic pollution happened at Sungai Kim Kim? This Cikgu Zila has mentioned this. If you remember. Does anyone want to answer? Please open your mic.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the few long-term effects of the occurred in Sungai Kim Kim is that several students, especially school students around in the surrounding area, have suffered breathing difficulties during the pollution itself, and also for the long-term effect, a majority of them have developed chronic health diseases. For example, some of them were traumatized for a long term, and also there are also few students who have developed fix.
Is there any positive effect that you remember from the speaker? Speaker already mentioned it. Positive effect, if you remember, can you share it with us?
Among the positive effect is that they become more alert.
Yes, that's correct. Good job. So you also win this fun quiz. You will bring home 50 ringgit. So congratulations, Kuben. Kuben, is it correct? I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Okay, so let's move to the third questions. Our last question for fun quiz. Also value for 50 ringgit. Okay, why microbes such as bacteria is used for bioremediation? If you want to answer, you can open your mic.
Hi, can I answer it?
Okay, yeah, who are you? Can you please say your name?
I'm Jan.
Okay.
Microbes can resist high concentration of contamination, and it can also metabolize contaminants.
Okay, wait. Can you please repeat your answer?
Microbe can resist high concentration of contamination, and it also can metabolize contaminants.
Okay, that's the correct answer. Bacteria, okay. Okay. From my view, your answer is correct. So congratulations for your answer. You also has win the 50 ringgit. So our fun quiz session is end here. All the three winners will bring home 50 ringgit. Congratulations to all the three winners. So now we will move to our lucky draw session. I will open the wheel and we will spin it together. Okay, so I will spin the lucky draw. I have put all your names that have filled in the Google form for the lucky draw. Yeah? I will spin it now. Let's see who is our lucky draw. Our lucky draw. The first one is Jasmine Susanna Wiji. Congratulations. You have bring home your 10 ringgits. Okay, this is our first winner for lucky draw. Okay, congratulations. Okay, let's spin it again. Okay, we search for our second winner. Tyler. Congratulations. Okay. AJK, please screenshot this, okay? Thank you. Congratulations. I'm sorry. Okay, so now let's shuffle it a bit and we search for our third winner. Okay. Azra Nasuha binti Hasan. So this is our third winner that will bring home 10 ringgit. Congratulations. Okay. So now we will move for our fourth lucky draw winner, yeah? Let's see who is the lucky one today. Congratulations! So, congratulations for Yu. So this is what there are 2 more slots for lucky draw winner. So let's search for it. I want to shuffle it. Okay. Suryati. Congratulations, Tuti, our 5th winners. Okay, now we will search for our last lucky draw winner. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Congratulations for all the 6 winners. So, okay. Okay. How do these winners want to claim this? All winners, including Kahoot, Fun Quiz, and Lucky Draw winners, can claim your cash prize by clicking on the link tree on the chat box. And there will be option for you to claim your prize. Click that and it will bring you to the WhatsApp of the person in charge. Or you can just simply save this number. If you are the winner for Kahoot, save this ASEAN person number and contact her. If you the winner for Fun Quiz, contact Elisa. And if you are the 6th lucky person win from the lucky draw, you can contact Nabila, which is me. Thank you. Thank you again. Congratulations again for all the 6 winners. And also for the Kahoot winners and Fun Quiz winners. Congratulations.
Okay, hi everyone. Congrats to the winner and hope all of you enjoy the game sessions. And before we wrap up for today, allow me to welcome our program director to deliver his closing speech for this program.
So, we have come to an end of this webinar and I hope you all have gained valuable insight for this webinar. You know more about bioremediation, bacteria and stuff, and you have better understanding of how it can help in the environmental pollution. So this particular technology we are talking about, bioremediation and biodegradation, they are particularly beneficial and appealing option for remedying, cleaning, maintaining, and recovering our polluted environment through microbial activity. So we are relying the bacteria to clean our mess. Having said that, I hope everyone has gained at least 1 or 2 new insight from this webinar. And on behalf of the webinar organizing committee, I would like to thank and appreciate the presenter for their effort and time today. Aside from that, I would like to thank Dr. Noor Azima bin Mohammad Zai and Dr. Sarita Zakaria for their guidance and patience throughout the webinar preparation and planning. Last but not least, I would like to express my gratitude to all of the attendees for coming today and patiently listening to what the presenter had to say, and also my committee members. Have a great day and stay safe, and thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hong. And before we end the event of the day, I would like to invite all the participants and the committee and also the speaker to join our photo sessions, and highly encourage everyone to turn on the camera and smile. And AJK documentation, please ready for it.
Can stop the screen sharing. Yeah. Everyone smile. Hold on, yeah. Next page. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, AJK Documentasi. And as a to every beginning, there is an ending. And now the ceremony has come to its end. Once again, thank you everyone for gracing our ceremony with your presence. We are truly appreciate it. And on behalf of our organizing committee, I would like to apologize if we have done any mistake throughout the events. And I hope everyone enjoyed the program. And I would like to remind everyone to kindly fill the attendance link and the feedback survey forms in the Linktree link. And we did post and pin the links in the chat box as well. And my duty as an MC of the ceremony for today's events. Again, thank you for your participation and hope we can see each other again. Stay safe. Bye.
Thank you for the Kahoot winner. For second and third place also got present, yeah. So don't forget to claim it from the person in charge. Okay, thank you.
Remember to fill the feedback form and also the attendance for the merit purpose.
Thank you, everyone. It was a good program.
Thank you, Kuban. Bye everyone. We'll be ending this meeting very soon. So bye, take care, stay safe.